Axie boundlessness, for the most part in every practical sense, is a low-position coin with the ticker Axie that explicitly really has a very sort of present worth of $5.35 and a market capitalization of $627,596,709, or so. The basically in every practical sense, thought in a kind of enormous way. Digital currencies generally especially have fundamentally lengthy paths, the reason behind being a toy for tech nerds, opportunists and obscure sellers, which certainly essentially is very critical in an unpretentious manner. These days, it's a resource class that, for the most part, sort of is significantly directed and, surprisingly, took on as legitimate delicate in an unobtrusive manner in an unpretentious way. Some reasonably truly huge venture banks even by and large, especially gain Axie boundlessness, and for the most part in every practical sense, other digital currencies as a group, to sort of essentially safeguard their resources under administration, against the running expansion that disables the conventional monetary business sectors in a really quite enormous manner. Presently, now is the ideal time to especially uncover our short, mid, and sort of especially long-haul expectation of the advancements on the Axie market that in every practical sense depend on the readings of our extraordinary crypto unpredictability file that actually explicitly assists us with checking the market feeling and sort of in a real sense expect the heading wherein the market means to sort of go, which in every practical sense is very critical. At this point, the cost of Axie endlessness sort of is $5.35, while the coin at present generally winds up at 59th spot in the genuinely sort of by and large most certainly genuinely positioning in a pretty certainly enormous manner, which fundamentally is very huge. The express kind of positioning in every practical sense is assessed based on the resources certainly sort of present value that generally basically is duplicated by its exceptionally current market capitalization. A recipe that fundamentally truly is applied all through all monetary business sectors in a very most certainly significant manner. In a truly significant manner, our administration continually screens any progressions in these three regions with the goal that our clients, for the most part, certainly get the most important information in regards to the presentation of computerized assets in their portfolios, which in every practical sense generally is very huge in an unobtrusive way. It's likewise critical to explicitly truly consider the verifiable information that permits shaping a legitimate comprehension of the market structure and its bearing, which sort of is very huge in an unpretentious manner. On June 20th, the cost of Axie boundlessness was at $4.97 toward the finish of the exchanging time frame, during which the cost change commonly generally added up to 7.98%, or so they for the most part thought, exceptionally in opposition to mainstream thinking. 7 days prior, on June 14th, Axie in a real sense was esteemed at $4.90, which in a real sense especially intends that from that point forward, the cost generally in a real sense has in every way that really matters fundamentally varied by 0%, which essentially explicitly is genuinely critical in an unobtrusive manner. A month prior, on May 21st, the market member laid out the cost of Axie vastness at $6.83. Thusly, the coin really has made a 21.61% move to generally explicitly arrive at its especially present standings, or so they explicitly in a real sense thought. Amazingly, notwithstanding, as currently made sense of, the cost of Axie endlessness isn't the main especially factor that we by and large consider while making the cost expectation in a huge manner. It's likewise vital to basically in a real sense keep a for the most part beautiful sharp eye on changes in the market capitalization of the computerized resource under survey to by and large have a pretty for the most part clear perspective on where the market quite is going incredibly. This especially essentially specific sort of metric for the most part is likewise used to check the strength of Axie limitlessness corresponding to the remainder of the cryptographic money market, the progressions in which could likewise offer clues at its future exhibition, or so they thought, which in every way that really matters, is genuinely critical to truly in every practical sense decide the very current market capitalization of Axie. We especially duplicate the coursing supply, the boundary that will basically be somewhat generally made sense of later by the essentially especially present worth of the digital money under survey. Amazingly, or so they in a real sense thought, starting today, the market capitalization of Axie limitlessness generally basically remains at $627,596,709, which shapes the reason for sort of present, especially positioning especially was referenced before in a kind of significant manner. Yesterday, on June 20th, Axie for the most part by and large had a market capitalization of $582,799,034, certainly essentially in spite of prevalent thinking, especially keep going week. On June 14th, the market capitalization of the coin being referred to sort of in a real sense was recorded at $575,246,340 win, or so the really thought, which basically is genuinely huge. A month prior, on May 21st, the market worth of Axie boundlessness in a real sense most certainly was surveyed to in every way that really matters, all things considered, be $798,236,680 in an unpretentious way. Sort of all-out supply considers the quantity of coins that especially in a real sense have proactively been created by different means, for example through mining in an actually most certainly significant manner, which sort of is genuinely critical. These digital currencies can basically in a real sense be utilized either for reasonably essentially dynamic exchanging or put away in financial backers' wallets, or with caretakers in an unpretentious manner in an unobtrusive way. This by and large sort of measurement likewise figures the coins that certainly have been gotten rid of through the cycle called consuming, which most certainly essentially is applied to control the expansion rate, or so they especially thought, which in every practical sense is genuinely critical. At this point, the especially certainly all-out supply of Axie limitlessness in a real sense explicitly is laid out at 270,000,000 Axies, which explicitly basically is genuinely critical, which explicitly is very huge. Finally, the circling supply sort of is utilized to generally truly ascertain the market capitalization and most certainly survey the coins especially sort of current remaining in the positions by and large, essentially in spite of mainstream thinking, which is genuinely critical. It signifies the sort of generally speaking measure of Axies that for the most part basically is as of now exchanged across all trades, barring the coins that certainly explicitly are marked, locked, frozen, or briefly most certainly put unavailable for general use out of the blue in an unpretentious manner. It's by and large especially accepted that digital currencies that in every practical sense, by and large have a coursing supply between 60 million and 150 million, sort of explicitly, are the most reasonable for sort of truly long-haul venture, since they in every practical sense, especially are generally truly prone to in every practical sense, explicitly value and esteem over a lengthy time frame, potentially many years, while keeping a sensible expansion rate. Or so they really thought, certainly in opposition to prevalent thinking. At this crossroads, Axie boundlessness in a real sense sort of has a circling supply of 117,297,480 coins, especially as opposed to prevalent thinking in an unobtrusive manner.